What's up, gents? It's your host here, Soujyo, for GAtv. Going to be bringing our second podcast online. It's going to be broken into two parts here so we can cover two topics in a little more detail. And today I'm going to be talking to you about a mid-range sniper class setup that I have, and I found to be pretty effective in multiplayer. It involves the M14, and I'll get more into that in a minute. But first I'm going to go ahead and start the video here and go into a little bit of a description about some of the perks and the setup of the class in general. You're going to see in the beginning of this video, it looks like it's just going to be one of those games where nothing seems to click, but it turns around and ends up being quite a good game. So about those perks. Personally, I find you can't live without Ghost. It's absolutely a must, and Ghost Pro is fantastic, especially with all the air vehicles in the game when people are calling it in, or the dogs, or things of that nature, where you just can't be targeted by that. It's very, very helpful, especially if you've got a class set up to take out the air vehicle. He can't see where you are shooting him down from. The next perk I use is interswitchable with your choice, but personally I find Sleight of Hand Pro to be absolutely fantastic. It allows you to do a lot of movement in the map and still beat people when you both surprise each other coming around a corner. You'll beat them to aiming down the sights and you'll win the fight more often than not. The interchangeable aspect of that is Warlord. Its pro version is very handy. I mean, if you like throwing grenades and flashbangs and etc., it's very nice to have an extra one from the get-go. Also, having two attachments on your weapon can be fantastic. In situations like S&D, I tend to use a ACOG along with a silencer, where I'm not going to be running around so much, and I will likely not be using Sleight of Hand Pro to its fullest. The last is really your choice. I find that Marathon is excellent, and if you get Marathon Pro, you're going to love being able to move around quickly and get to your next spot, as fast as you can. The only other one I tend to pick up is Ninja, and if you got Ninja Pro, I mean, from what I hear, they're still trying to fix it, but I personally love not making any sound when I'm moving around. It gives me that much more attention span to things that are going on around me. But it's really your choice. If you like tactical masks or things of that nature, or if you really think you need to see the enemy's claymores and placements, go for it. That's really your choice. Now, if you're paying close attention, you probably saw some picture-in-picture action there of the grenades getting lobbed over the building. What I was trying to call attention to is that this isn't exactly key to sniping, but it's a very good element in the game to have. It not only will get you a kill, but it generally gets your opponent in a fleeing state rather than a prepared state when you're coming around a high-traffic corner. You need to know where these areas are so that you don't get shot up necessarily as you breach a corner and you've got them on the run. It gives you more opportunity to effectively defend yourself and get to a better position, a better firing angle on your opponent. Now, one of the other things I wanted to bring up here was that essentially you see in the beginning of the video, I don't use the M14 very much. I'm running around and gunning with the pistol. I was trying to do that intentionally in the start of the game here to show that you could still be an effective pusher to a degree. If you know how to use the pistol properly and you know its strengths and weaknesses, you're going to be able to do pretty good pushing without using an assault rifle, submachine gun, or light machine gun, okay? But it's definitely not as effective, but you can still be a contributing factor on the field. Now you're going to see I'm going to start using the M14 here and really do what I was intending to do and show you just how powerful of a mid-range sniper rifle it can be. It's single shot. It's got good damage, and in a hardcore setting, which this is what I was playing, it was hardcore, it's a very powerful weapon. It's silenced, so they're not going to see me pop up on the minimap so much. That will take off some of its damage at range. But in hardcore, just about anything will kill you. I mean, it really, unless you're using like Last Stand like that guy was, one shot, one kill is pretty much the theme. It's very rare unless you shoot through an object like a tree or a wall or something that you're going to find somebody lives past the first shot. I don't know necessarily about shooting people in the leg or the foot or something like that, because that's generally not where I'm trying to aim. But for the most part, yeah, a torso shot, headshot, a headshot in normal mode anyways is a one-shot kill. So it's a very powerful weapon. Part of why it's so powerful is that in combination with a good pistol like the CZ75, using the full auto, which is the setup I use, it gives you a 20 round magazine instead of a 5 round or a 10 round, depending on what modifications you're using on your sniper rifle, but a 20 round magazine. So you spend a lot of time being able to put ammo down range and not reloading and getting caught with your pants down, essentially. That's why I like the M14 so much. It's got very, very minimal recoil. Okay, it's, gosh, at least 4 shots before you're going to start seeing your crosshair completely move way off target. That's really important. I mean, the other sniper rifles, you know, using the ACOG scope, they're pretty good. Like the PSG one is a pretty good rifle, but the problem is it's pretty powerful and intended to be that way in terms of its kickback, its recoil. That was the intent of it. It's a sniper rifle. You know, you're supposed to be doing 1 shot, 1 kill with it. Well, if you miss, you know, a lot of times it's over before, especially in hardcore mode, before you can get that reticle back on target. So the M14, you might, you know, sit there and laugh at me for using it, but I admit my weakness, and that is I will miss. And I think anybody who wants to take themselves seriously in the game will admit that they're going to miss. So if you want to bank everything on the luck that, you know, the PSG-1 with this 5 round magazine and kind of heavy recoil even with an ACOG is going to do the job for you, versus 20 rounds, a quick reload and very minimal recoil and still 1-shot kill capability, I personally, I don't want to bank on that luck. I want to be the guy who gets the job done constantly in there. I'm out there to win it. You know, I'm not there to sit there and do trick shots and hope that I'm going to get the, you know, that 1 shot to go put in a video somewhere. I try to do kind of a balance sniping. A lot of people will probably sit there and go, well, why are you rushing so much? Well, that's because I'm trying to balance it out. You know, being a predictable player is not going to get you a victory, or not going to make you a very good player. Being predictable all the time, using the same campy spots, using the same tactic over and over and over again, people are going to know you're there and they're going to shoot you, and they're going to preemptively grenade it, and they're going to make it hard for you to do your job. Now, one thing I want to call attention to is right there in the video, is situational awareness. Now, this is the main reason I like the M14 so much. It's not a bulky rifle. It gives you a lot of situational awareness. So I saw a guy, at least the shadow of a guy, move across the top of my screen there, while I wasn't able to really technically see him so much as I just noticed the shadow. If I was using a bulkier weapon, I probably wouldn't have seen that. A good example of a bulkier weapon would be the Dragunov. Now, with an ACOG scope on the Dragunov, you can't see anything off the left side of your screen. I mean, you are blind as a bat there. I mean, you really can't see anything. It's got a big attachment thing on the left side there for the scope to sit on, and you know, when you're down sights, good luck. You're not going to see somebody coming from the left side of your screen. So it's very important to find a weapon like this that works for you in giving you essentially good visibility, because good visibility leads to good situational awareness, means you're going to make much better decisions when you have more information presented to you. That pretty much takes care of the benefits of the M14. Now, in the second part of the video, I'm going to be talking about what you kind of want to do with this stuff and what strategies are employed by a good mid-range sniper.